Welcome back. It's time now to take a look at the top business stories. Mubadala Infrastructure Partners buys 49% stake in Paris-Sorbonne University, Abu Dhabi. Dana Gas posts 80% profit growth in 2010. And Obama stresses need to get US out of debt and deficit. Let's look at the UAE stock markets first. Both the DFM and the ADX edged higher today, although only slightly. The DFM even reached a new all-year high. The DFM General Index climbed only a baby step, though, by 0.1% to close the session at 1,682 points. Best performance was the jewelry maker Damas, which surged over 15%. Deepa Limited was also up by a considerable amount, 5.3%. DP World gained 4.6%. Emaar Properties was up 0.9%, while Drake & Skull fell 1.8%. And Do rose 0.6%. 223 million shares were traded, valued at 325 million dirhams. And over in the capital, the ADX was also only up by a notch, by 0.1%, to close at 2,711 points, supported by the industrial and real estate sectors. Alder Properties rose 1.2%, Suru Real Estate 1.3%, and RAK Properties gained 2.4%. Abu Dhabi Aviation Company was one of the best performers with a plus of 8.1%. Abu Dhabi Commercial Bank was also up by 2.3%, and First Gulf Bank gained 0.3%. And Dana Gas was up 2.9%. 185 million shares were traded, valued at 234 million dirhams. And let's now take a look at the GCC markets, which ended mixed today. To talk a bit more about the stock markets, we're now joined by financial analyst Bruce Powers. Welcome to the show, Bruce.
Thank you.
How are you?
Good to be here.
Let's look at the DFM a bit closer. We reached a new year high today, and also we hear that the DFM is the best performing stock among the GCC benchmarks. Is there more room to come? And if so, by how much?
Well, there's a couple factors that may have had to come into play and why the outperformance. One is being that in early March, there was a sharp sell-off and we reached very oversold conditions with extreme pessimism. Now, once markets reach extreme conditions of bullishness or bearishness, they have a tendency to swing in the other direction, which is what we've seen. At the same time, Dubai stocks were very cheap. The valuations were near worldwide lows. Another factor that may have come into play is this idea of Dubai being a safe haven. As unrest spread in the region, more capital started to flow out of those countries and into the UAE. Now, looking at the future, in the short term, it looks like we have a much higher risk now that we're going to have some sort of pullback, consolidation period of some sort. The DFM now has been up 10 days in a row, and this is the most since 2005, and we're sitting right at a potential resistance level. Now, in the medium term, the outlook is much more bullish than it's been for several months now.
So you're bullish on the DFM. Very good to know that.
Yeah.
Let's look at commodity prices at gold. Yesterday, gold reached for the first time in its history $1,500 a fine ounce. This is going on for years and months. It's going up, up, up. There has to be a point where it stops, where the peak is reached. When is that and where?
Well, gold has been going up for 10 years, and it's risen over 430% in that time. And there's no sign that that trend is going to end anytime soon. One of the reasons is we have a very loose monetary policy worldwide, especially in the U.S., and this is likely to keep gold rising for a bit more. Now, where the final top is going to be, I don't know. But the next level in the short term looks to be around 1557. Looking at the long-term chart, the next resistance level above that is around 1840, which is about 22% above where we are now. So it looks like we've got more upside for gold, and the trend is going to continue higher.
Okay, we'll see what happens. Thanks for coming
Thank
in.
you.
Have a good weekend. And now to our top stories. Mubadala Development Company announced to sell 49% of its stake in Manhal Development Company, the developer, owner and operator of the Paris-Sorbonne University in Abu Dhabi. Buyer of the stake is Mubadala Infrastructure Partners, a private equity fund investing in the Middle East, North Africa and Turkey, which includes regional and international institutional investors. The Paris-Sorbonne University project is strategically important to Mubadala as it sets a benchmark for the development of future UAE social infrastructure projects. The project also demonstrates Mubadala's expertise in developing and delivering public-private partnership projects. Ali Ais Meheri, the Associate Director of Mubadala Infrastructure, said. He added that the sale of a minority equity stake allows Mubadala to realize a commercial benefit while being in line with its strategy of sharing project risk with other parties. Dana Gas posted an 80% rise in profits in 2010. Net profits climbed to 158 million dirhams, up from 88 million in 2009. The company held its annual general meeting on Wednesday, where the board approved the directors' report on the company's financial position for the year ending 31st of December. Dana Gas chairman Hamid Yaffa said that the strong growth reflects the economic fundamentals driving regional gas demand, particularly progressive substitutions away from liquid petroleum products. He said that the main focus now is on growing cash flows, maximizing shareholder value, and the development of existing assets. Also, the UAE energy company said it has yet to make a decision on whether to list shares in London. According to a report, Dana Gas is considering plans to do so. The share is up 2.9% on the ADX today. And in our fast financial news, Abu Dhabi's International Petroleum Investment Company and Oman Oil Company have signed an agreement for the financing of oil and gas projects, as well as exchanging industry expertise. IPIC's Managing Director, Kadim Al-Kubaizi, said that he hopes the agreement will open up new avenues of joint investments. The 6 GCC oil exporting economies are set to grow by 7.1% this year, according to the Saudi American Banking Group. That's the second highest growth rate in many years, since the sharp increase in 2008. Officials from the bank account the strong growth to the higher oil price, increased GCC production, as well as recent government spending plans. And after the break, we'll run you through what's making the headlines in international business today.